Welcome back, friends, to the Castro Valley News live show. It is Tuesday at 7 p.m. and it's Castro Valley News Live. It's been a week already since we last talked and caught up. I hope everyone is doing okay and staying safe and staying cool. This weather is has been ridiculous, um, and we are. California sure has taken a lot of stuff on the chin recently. We're having these rolling blackouts, and as far as I have heard, I don't think there have been any in Castro Valley. I could be incorrect on that, and I probably am because I think I saw a comment from one of you guys the other day that said that someone was sitting in the dark. So um, it's 2020 is just getting weirder and weirder and more Twilight Zone status as uh, as the days and weeks go by. Wanted to start off the show thanking you guys for coming back to listening to me kind of ramble on about things that are happening in the world and in our town. And first off, I wanted to mention, and let me know if this is overkill, if this is too much to bring up on every episode. Um, Castro Valley News is run by a very small, dedicated group of people. It's myself. I am Robert. Sorry, I didn't. I never introduced myself, and I'm sorry. I try to stay as low key as possible, which is why these shows don't have video because I don't. It's I don't have the ego that requires people seeing me sit here and ramble like I do every week. Um, Thank you guys for tuning back in. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time and I appreciate your passion for our community. Uh, Getting back to our team, there's basically three people who kind of keep this thing going, and we do have a pledge page. It's very similar to what PBS and NPR does. You can basically donate $1, $5, whatever amount you're comfortable with. Any amount is appreciated. It allows us to keep this thing going and continue. Castro Valley News is a business. We are we are in this to make some money. We're not looking to I don't- line our wallets with $100 bills from this, but we, like I said, we are a business. We would like to um, make some money off what we're doing, and if you could, if you find it in your heart to support us in a monetary way, that would be greatly appreciated. Our moderator will post the link to the pledge page, and like I said, it can be any amount. It can be $1. It could be $2, whatever. It will help us continue doing what we're doing here. And any support is appreciated. Um, like I said, our moderator will post up the link to that pledge page shortly if you would like to show your support in a monetary way. We greatly appreciate it. The first time we did the pledge post thing, there was an overwhelming amount of support from people. And thank you guys. You know who you are. Uh, for the lack of a better term, we love you. We love you anyways. We love this town. That is why we do what we do on the Castro Valley News page. Um, Getting back to how people are feeling, I hope people are doing okay. We are uh, we are months into this shelter in place. Fortunately, from what I've heard, the governor mentioned we are heading in the right direction in regards to the pandemic and that situation. I know there are people who don't support wearing masks, but I'm fairly certain there are just as many, if not more, who are wearing their masks and trying to do what they can to social distance, which is tough. And now that I've mentioned social distancing, I saw a couple friends today, and the day kind of started off like we all do, feeling kind of down. But I specifically saw a very good friend in the village this morning, and it really made my day. And I think one of the things that we all kind of miss out on because we're doing the shelter in place thing and staying at home and all that is we're missing seeing and being close to friends. And it was actually one of the things that uh, came up in conversation with this friend was just just missing being able to go to coffee or hang out or have a barbecue and being with your friends and being able to just gosh just be close to someone that you know closer than the 6 feet, you know, and being able to maybe God just have a sorry gosh just have a conversation and I'm sure if these people are not in the social bubble that they're mentioning, you can't shake their hands, you can't give them a hug. It's just we're missing that human touch, that human interaction that is so important. But we will get there, and when we do, I can imagine there's going to be so many parties and get-togethers and gatherings and parades, and it's just something to look forward to. And I apologize if I got a little maudlin there, but one of the other things that I want to mention right now that I like to mention during every episode that we do here with the Castro Valley News Live, and I'm going to mention every week I have a list of things that I would like to bring up. And I would also right now would like to invite you guys, if you like, shoot us an email or shoot us an email, castrovalleytelevision@gmail.com. Let us know some of the items that you would like to see on the list, if they're topics of discussion, things that are happening around town. We can discuss national things. The political things I like to shy away from because they're really divisive. So you feel free, definitely suggest that if you like, but I can't guarantee that it will be brought up because politics seem to be so that's three so's so divisive these days, and I don't want to foster a dispute or be divisive in bringing up, you know, political things that are not going to be productive to the conversation. So, um, if you want, if you would like to, the list, shoot us an email. You can message us through the page if you prefer that means. But one of the biggest things that Castro Valley Live should be is a platform and a means for us to hear your concerns and your thoughts about our community and things that are happening in the world and in our community, which kind of are the same thing. So Castro Valley Television at gmail.com if you want to bring up a topic for the list. Every week there's a list of things that I like to bring up, and I want to be inclusive with you guys and have that list include things that you would like to have us talk about. Again, Castro Valley Television at gmail.com. Give us some list suggestions. You can comment on the post here. You can share your comments, things that you want to add to the list. Please, you are the show. Without you guys, there's no show. Without you, there's no Castro Valley News. So please, if you have a topic or an item or a concern, something that's going on in Castro Valley, like I said, email it in, post it on the thread. We will talk about it. If it's political, we may not talk about it because, um, like I said, I don't want to be divisive with that. Um, Something that that just kind of crossed my mind today was, and it's kind of a cool topic, celebrity sightings in Castro Valley. And I know during a couple earlier episodes, I turned into a complete geek fanboy mentioning that I've seen Ricky Henderson in my neighborhood a couple times. Another, I haven't seen him lately, so maybe he's busy. But Ricky Henderson is a legend. But another person, this was a bunch of years ago, a lot of years ago. Um, I was out to dinner with my dad here in Castro Valley, and back when El Rancho Steakhouse used to be Lions, so that goes back a few years. And if you guys know how many years ago the El Rancho Steakhouse was Lions, please post it and correct me because I just don't remember. But we were doing dinner one night, and in another booth was the man. He's not a myth, but he is a legend. It was Dennis Richmond, and I just remember, and I was a lot younger, so I was not as tall as I am now, and I just remember him being he is just a giant. He is a tall, tall man, and he's broad as well. He's just a big, big guy, and he was sitting down in the booth, and it looked like he was like a normal person standing up, but he was just so gracious because as you can imagine, tons of people recognized him, and were walking up and shaking his hand, and he was just genuinely outgoing and nice to what seemed like a line of people who were coming up and saying hello, and he was saying hi, and people were cool when his food came. They kind of stopped. Um, Asking him. We got a question. Are there any brush fires in Castro Valley right now? Let me see. I know we've got a lot of brush fires, a lot of vegetation fires that have been um, popping up because of the lightning that happened. And I see a vegetation fire 645. That's Sonol. You may be seeing some smoke from that. Um, I'm not seeing any other um, local fires. I know. What is the deer fire? Where is the deer fire? We may be seeing smoke from that. We may be seeing smoke from a number of other fires that are going on. But to answer your question, there's no active fires in Castro Valley right now. So if anything pops up, I will definitely let you guys know. Marie is mentioning that Ricky Henderson attends and watches Hayward High School baseball games. He's friends with the coach. Ricky is a legend, and I know a while back I saw some photos that were taken on Instagram by someone who works at the Walgreens in the village, and she was very excited to see Ricky Henderson here in Castro Valley at Walgreens. And like I said, I said before, I grew up watching Ricky Henderson and just being a gigantic fan. And my mom actually reminded us when we would watch the A's, we would just shout, "Go, Ricky, go!" whenever he would start running. And yeah, it's amazing to see Ricky Henderson in your neighborhood here in Castro Valley. Marie mentioned the smoke maybe from the San Mateo fire. That's possible. I know there's been quite a few vegetation fires around the Bay Area due to the lightning. And but getting back to Dennis Richmond, saw him right there at Lions. And again, I don't. I'm very poor with remembering what years things happened, but I'm guessing this was probably late 90s. And like I said, he is a big man. I mean, I'm not saying he's overweight, but he is just tall, and he is just built, and he was just so gracious with everyone who walked up because the Channel 2 News when Dennis and Elaine Corral were on there. Like everybody watched that. I watched it every night, and he was just so gracious with all the people who walked up. And I'll have to ask, but I think my dad got an autograph. Um, uh, Lesser known people, you guys might know these names. I've seen Davey Havoc from AFI. It's a local band. I saw him at Pete's Coffee near Safeway. And leading back to the question, what has been your celebrity sighting in Castro Valley or even Hayward? Local celebrities, who have you seen? Um, I also saw, well, it's a band from Castro Valley called Cyclone 9, and I'm probably not too many people know. So it would be likely I saw the singer. His name is Nero Bellum. I saw him at Pete's as well. Um, who else? I know I've spoken to people who were super excited when they saw Robin Williams come into Eden Cycles in the Village, and actually, I've heard from quite a few people how excited they were to see Robin Williams come into Eden Cycles many years ago. From what I heard from Chris, who owns Eden Cycles, shout out to Chris over at Eden Cycles. Chris is an awesome guy who does a lot of stuff for the community behind the scenes and lives here and loves the community. Um, Robin Williams would come into Eden Cycles and buy some pretty expensive bikes every so often. And I think Chris also still has a framed photo at the back of the shop of Robin during one of his visits to Eden Cycles. And again, feel free to text if you want to mention a celebrity sighting. The number is 510-331-9112. We're talking celebrity sightings. We are talking topics, subjects, concerns that you would like to have us discuss for the list. And that list is the thing that I kind of go by every week so that I don't sit here and blather and stumble on my words and sound like a complete buffoon like I have before during the show. And people have reminded me of that. And thank you. Thank you. Something that crossed my mind when I first kind of started reporting, I was with the San Leandro Times, and this also was late 90s. And I tried to find this article, and I was unsuccessful in every Google search that I did. And I did not keep my archive, so I don't have the story. This was way back when I started with the San Leandro Times, late 90s, like I said. There was there was a verbal racist attack um, on a young African American girl um, in front of McKinley School, and that's on East 14th Street. And it wasn't my story. Someone else on the staff. Oh, Marie said that her husband met former NBA player Greg Foster at the 24-hour fitness many years ago. That's cool. What team did Greg Foster play for? I'm not familiar with the name, but that is cool. Thank you for bringing that up, Marie. Um, so getting back to this thing that happened a bunch of years ago, and it just kind of crossed my mind because we're grappling with the topic of racism, and we're having a lot of discussions about it, which is a great thing. But like I said, this was I think the late 90s, and like I said, and I know I repeat a lot of things a lot of times, but I'm just trying to get back to where I was in the story. Um, this young African American girl was verbally assaulted. It was a racist attack by a non. I believe it was a white person, and I hope I didn't say that wrong. It was not an African American person, and like I said, it wasn't my story. It wasn't a story that I was working on. At the time, I was working on features, which is not hard news. It's more like features are more like this person grew a 800-pound pumpkin or something like that. The lesser stories, not that they're lesser in any way, but the writing starting with features allowed me to learn kind of the ropes in writing stories, and I completely got sidetracked with what I was talking about. But when the story ran, I was in the newsroom, and one of the other reporters was writing the story. So as you can imagine, in the newsroom, the topic was we were talking about this verbal racist attack that happened in San Leandro years ago, and it it disturbed me, it bothered me to the point where I asked the managing editor, is there something that I can do to express my frustration and dislike on this in regard to this attack? And the response was, you can write a letter to the editor, which I did. And I don't have, like, I wish I had what I said, but I can probably paraphrase. I said, in this day and age in San Leandro, we are at a point still where an African American girl, a little girl, an underage minor, is going to be attacked based on the color of her skin. And I'm pretty sure I said something to the effect of San Leandro could and should do better than that. And I think it was a week or 2 weeks after my letter to the editor was printed, in the mail addressed to me was an envelope with some extremely colorful and interesting Aryan Nazi propaganda, and it was a big manila envelope. And um, it I don't have it anymore. I actually I tacked it to my cork board next to my desk. It was just, of course, as you can imagine, there was no return address, and it was just uh, bizarre Nazi white power stuff, targeting the media as being. Uh, you can imagine. You can insert some of the imagery. There was actually a pamphlet that was an invitation to join the whatever local thing that was happening, and it was just looking back. Sometimes you should probably pick your battles, and the 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 verbal attack against myself and the newspaper, I probably should have known better that someone would of course see my name um, in the front page as a contributing writer. So the attack was also on the publication, which I should have apologized for, but nobody on the staff at the time was bothered by it. Um, it just, and thinking of where we're at now and reflecting on that incident and that attack and the reaction, it kind of seems like it just made me kind of think of how much progress have we actually made. I'm hoping that we will make more progress as the topic goes along, but I just wanted to share that with you. It was the the initial verbal assault on that little girl and the reaction from whoever sent the stuff in. Like I said, it was someone spent, I think it was like, and this was in the late 90s, so postage prices were very different then. Somebody spent a good $5-6 on this manila envelope of Nazi and Aryan propaganda and material that was basically attacking the media and myself. Um, it, it the attack and the reaction were both, I think, and I don't think they were equally disturbing, because if you can go and attack a little girl based on her race, I I'm I don't have very many good words for you, and I don't get racism. To me, it seems like it's based in fear. So, but anyways, that was a story I wanted to share with you guys that happened in the '90s, and like I said, I I didn't keep unfortunately I didn't keep my archives or my copy of the edition where the attack was reported, or the edition that had my letter to the editor in it. So just wanted to share that with you guys. We've got a lot of work to do when it comes to equality and understanding each other and being compassionate with each other. The one thing that I also wanted to mention in regards to was talking about um, people being isolated is please, if you can, check in on your senior relatives, your senior neighbors, your senior friends. Um, a lot of seniors are isolated, and uh, they're a lot of the seniors are distancing themselves from others because they're more susceptible and more vulnerable to the virus. Reach out to them, let them know you care. If they need anything, please, if you have some spare time, offer your help to them. It's they're the seniors. The situations are more impactful to them because of their age, and they just, if you can, say hello, knock on a door, shout out a window to your neighbors if they're, if they're in that age group, and let them know you still care, let them know you're there. um yeah, and also do that for any neighbor that you might think is isolated or not doing okay with the state of affairs. um Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to do it myself, and I know we all get kind of tied into our lives, and trying to find a schedule, and I think that's one of the biggest things that has affected me is you have the schedule, and you have these things and these places that you like to go, and we can't do those things anymore. And it becomes a mental weight, and it becomes depressing and saddening. You can't go to the library anymore. You can get books, but you can't walk in, and you can't look at the aisles, and you can't see all of the wonderful um, information that's there to be checked out, and that's tough. We can't, like I said before, we can't just have a barbecue and hang out with our friends and be close to each other. So please, I know I'm sounding preachy now. Be good to yourselves. Be good to your friends. Be good to your neighbors. We are in this together. We'll get out of this together. So I'll step off of my soapbox there. Looking through some of the chat here, Sally is watching. How are you doing, Sally? I don't know where you're at, but thank you for watching. Maria is asking, are we having power outages? And the last thing that I saw from PG&E on their Twitter page, which has really up-to-date stuff, they were really, really asking for people to conserve power. And I will ask that too. If there's stuff, and I know you're probably hearing my air conditioner in the background, but everything else is off except for the computer. Um, please conserve as much as you can. I think uh, this whole thing with the power, I think we're going to see a very larger story unfold in regards to what's happening with this. So to get to Maria's answer, I don't. I haven't seen many power outages in Castro Valley. I could be wrong, but the bottom line is, like PG&E is preaching on their Twitter page, conserve as much as you can, as often as you can, because uh, I think it was Sunday, the day where all of the lightning strikes happened. the power went out here was not related to the rolling power outage. It's a pain in the you know what to have your power out, and it was out for a couple hours here, and so anyways, enough about me. Please conserve. If you're not using the lights, turn them off. Um, Set your air conditioner to 78 if you can. If you can open the door and use a fan to cool off, and I know it has been hot. It has been just brutal. Today seems a little bit cooler, but conserve as much as you can because nobody wants to have their power turned off, myself included. And Bob, senior citizen Cub reporter, is here. How you doing, Bob? Thank you for always tuning in and always calling, and for being awesome. Uh, Don is saying you can always come to One Bad Apple Records. And one of the others, one of the other celebrities that I've seen in Castro Valley is Don. He's the owner of One Bad Apple Records on Castro Valley Boulevard. And Don is a celebrity here in Castro Valley. So, with that said, please, if you have a topic or a subject or an item you'd like to bring up, you can text me 510-331-9112. You can post in the comments if you like. Yeah, one of the things that happened recently was the passing of John Zabratzky, and I had the honor of speaking to John was 105 years old, and I think it was in March. No, it wasn't March. It was a couple months ago. There was a huge drive-by party because we were in the midst. I think the shelter in place had just begun, and there was a drive-by celebration for John on his street here in Castro Valley. And if you want to well, actually, let's if our moderator can find the post for John Zabratz, I'm going to start that one more time. If our moderator can find the post of John Zabratzky's death, all the information is there. And like I said, I kind of have the attention. I have the memory of a fish. A lot of the details escape my mind, and I apologize for that. But a couple months ago was the drive-by 105th birthday for John Zabratzky, and it was amazing. There were, and we could find the. I went and did a live stream from the celebration. It was fantastic. It was organized by, I think, the local veterans, and CHP was there. They did an amazing drive-by with some of their motorcycles. The sheriffs were there. They had one of their what's the SWAT vehicle was there. There were trucks with Boy Scouts. I mean, it was just amazing. It was a fantastic turnout. But recently, John passed away. He was 105. I had the honor of speaking to him a few times, and he was a font of wisdom, and he was just an amazing, fun person to talk to. Age did nothing to slow him down. He lived a life that was amazing. He turned 105 in May. I'm sorry. That's when when the drive-by party was. And if you get a chance, one of the fellow veterans sent in the kind of an encapsulation, a synopsis of John's life, detailing how he got into the Navy and some of his experiences in World War II and the Korean War. And you want to talk about people who have lived lives. John Zabratzky lived a life. and he will be sorely missed by myself, and a lot of the all of the veterans in town. And we have such a vibrant and active veterans community here in town. These these ladies and gentlemen with the veterans organization, they really deserve a tip of the cap. And I'm not talking. Well, John alone deserves a tip of the cap, but these veterans groups, we have two of them. We have the veterans. We have the American Legions, and we have veterans of foreign wars. And both of those groups are the people who are really working hard to save the Castro Valley Library building on Redwood Road. And from what I was told, there will be a meeting coming up to discuss some of the options and some of the information in regards to the future of that building. Um, yeah. So I'll let you know when that happens, and we'll put out some information on that. Rick wants to know, what do I think of the prices at the new marketplace? I think I think they're a little bit high. I think the since the market just opened, I think they're going to work through a lot of problems, and I think they'll make a lot of improvements on what to offer to Castro Valley, and what their price point should be. I can't say enough of how fantastic the inside of that building looks. It is it is remarkable, the improvements to the inside of that building that they've done. I think the layout is really cool. Um, I think the people there are super friendly. I know they just installed their sign, and actually signs, two signs. They just installed their signs. But going back to what they've done with that building, it's really they've they brought that building from 0 to 10 really fast. The zero being um, what the Daughtry building looked like before. We all know it was the big white elephant at the middle center of our downtown area for tons and tons of years. I know there's probably still a lot of people who uh, miss the Spirit Store. I know that the Spirit Store is a lot of fun, but getting back to tipping the cap to the developer, the new owners, they have really made the inside of that building look fantastic. And like I said, within probably the next few months, they're gonna figure out a lot of things of what will be good and what may not be so good for Castro Valley in that building. And I wish them the best. Anything, anything to make the downtown be more vibrant, I'm all for it. And especially now with a lot of the businesses that are closed, and the businesses that are open, trying to continue. Um, I said this last week, and I've seen it again this week. It feels really good, and it's awesome to to see a lot of the restaurants that are doing the outdoor dining. I'm seeing tons of people over at Doug's. I'm seeing people doing takeout at Los Mocayetes on Redwood. Great family, great food. I'm seeing a lot of people sitting outside at JP's. Again, great people, great food. Um, Gosh, Norman's Grill is jumping. It's great to see people, going into um, what's the other place that I wanted to mention that's doing stuff outside. I'm seeing people doing takeout. Oh, When's Cafe. When's Cafe is packed, and Portales. There's people sitting outside Portales, and these people are neighbors. They've been in the community for a lot of years, and you let's talk about nice people. Let's talk about Rosa and Gustavo over at Portales and Philip over at Wens. I just Every time I see Rosa, I want to give her a hug. Every time I see Philip, I want to shake his hand and say hello and see him smile. And please, please, please support our local merchants, especially when they need uh, our support, our money. They need to stay afloat. And I know I just had a conversation with a friend today. We were talking about the hairstylists, and uh, they can't open, they can't do anything, they can't do the stuff outdoors. And it seems like the outdoor haircutting and Bob mentioned Don Jose's. I don't know. I think they're doing takeout. I'm not sure if they're doing stuff outside. They have the big overhang outside, which it's definitely attention getting, which is cool. But yeah, support Don Jose's. I know their bar is extremely popular. I know they have uh, people are always raving about their margaritas. Las Mocolletes as well. Um, I haven't had them, but I know people just rave about um, their drinks. We did a restaurant review with Cedric, and he had one of their top shelf margaritas, and he said it was good, and it looked good. But yeah, please support our local businesses, support Castro Valley News if you'd like to be a sponsor and do a pledge. We're a local business. We live here in Castro Valley. We love Castro Valley. I can't imagine anyone on our team wanting, well, we might want to live somewhere else, but I can imagine anyone on our team actually moving somewhere else. Um, but yeah, Don mentions he loves Portales. Rosa and Gustavo are just amazing, amazing people. Super, super sweet. The people over at JP's are awesome folks. I'm not sure. I think they're still doing takeout, but um, Southern Comfort Kitchen, the Brill brothers, their food is phenomenal. Super guys. Um, Yeah, shop local, support your neighbors. We all win when you do that. I will ask one more time. You guys got a question, comment, complaint? I'll take those too. Those are fine. 510-331-9112 if you'd like to text something over, if you'd like to post a comment, complaint, confession in the comments. We can talk about whatever you've got on your mind. Like I said, if you have suggestions for the list, which is the thing that we kind of go by every week in regards to what we kind of talk about, please send those in. I'm gonna look through the comments here, see if there's anything else going on. Uh, Rick's question, I got that. Don wants to everyone do a shot for John Zabratzky. Half for it. Let's go for it. Um, the only thing is you can't. Bo is asking, can we do a movie night in the park anytime soon? And it's funny you mentioned that because there's something that may be in the works with that, and I think it would be cool to do that. Um, it's a wonderful idea. Um, it would definitely have to be a social distancing type thing, but it should be something um, that could be doable as long as like I said, people would be social distancing. Um, yeah, well, if you want to, you can definitely go to the Chabot Theater's website or their Facebook page. They are streaming movies. They're all and Jacob just asks any word on the theater opening anytime soon. The uh, the short answer is no. Um, I don't think that's going to happen. I did hear that I think some of the bigger theaters are trying to open, but I think the Chabot is probably not going to open anytime soon, and that's unfortunate because we really need to support that theater. We need to make sure it stays open and vibrant in our community. It's one of the things I know, I'm like a broken record. We are so lucky to have an original single screen theater in our community that is still open, that is still beautiful. That place is amazing. We're so lucky to have that theater in our community. If you have a chance, check out the theater's website, their Facebook page. Was mentioned, they are streaming movies for free. It's called a riff along, and it's kind of an interactive thing like we're doing here. They stream the movie on their Facebook page and their website, and people. I don't know if you guys ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000. I grew up on that amazing fun show. I still watch it to this day. But basically, people crack jokes and post comments that are kind of at the expense of B movies. It's fun. It's free. If you feel inclined, you can also go to the theater's website. I'm sure you can just do Google Chabot Theater and look at their website. They're they're selling shirts. I think they have gift cards still. And Don just mentioned Paul Kime. Paul Kime is the person I saw in the village this morning, and um, it was it was it was good to see Paul. I love Paul. Paul is an awesome guy. He's a local dude. He's involved in Small Town Society, which is next to Trader Joe's, and they do a lot of things for the community, a lot of things about the community, and it was so good to see Paul and catch up and just to see him smile. He wasn't wearing a mask. I was, and we kept our distance, but it was just good to catch up with him and see him smile. And you know, like I said earlier, it's just so tough to be distanced from your friends and the people that you care about and the people that you know and the people that you just want to sit and have coffee and be in close proximity with and talk to. And Don mentioned Paul should be a guest, and that's a great idea. I'm going to invite Paul on a future live show so that we can talk about our community and the love that we all share for our community. Um, yeah. So Paul, cat's out of the bag. You're the guy I mentioned seeing it in the village this morning. I think Paul was just, grabbing something and heading home, but it was great to see him and to see him smile. I think that's one of the things that we're all missing out on. With these masks, we can't see each other smile. I mean, we can hear each other laugh, but it's that element of connecting with another human, seeing their smile while you're talking to them. It's tough to miss out on. Um, Guys, we are 48 minutes into this. Thank you guys for tuning in, for posting your comments. Got no texts, got no phone calls. That's fine. If you want, there's still time, definitely, like I said, to do a little recap. If you want to support us and do a pledge, we would love that. We appreciate your support. We love to support you and our community. Um, if you would like to share or suggest something for the future list, which is the topics that we bring up, please post it on the comments or give us an email, 510 Oh, whoa, that's my phone number. Sorry, that's the phone number. Yeah, you can do that too. But yeah, if you got a topic that you want us to bring up, Castro Valley Television at gmail.com. That's the email. Apologize for my confusion there. But yeah, we're pretty close to the end of this one. Bob, CV Youth Soccer doing anything this year? Don't think so. I haven't heard anything about any of the youth sports doing anything. I could be wrong. I did hear, I mean, baseball is in full swing, no pun intended, but there it is. I did hear, um, I heard something about what basketball, what the NBA is doing, and I think they've rented Disneyland or some space at Disneyland, and they're keeping everyone isolated, which is great because that way they can test all the players and the staff. And Julie is saying club soccer is yes. Are they really playing? I haven't heard about it, so that's great. I hope they're going to stay safe and keep the kids away from each other because soccer is kind of a close proximity game. So hoping they're doing it safely. But like I said, the NBA. I was just rambling about the NBA. I heard one of the talk show hosts on KGO mentioning that they were impressed with what the NBA is doing in regards to keeping all of their players and staff isolated from other people and preventing any exposure of the virus to any of the players and staff. Denise is mentioning the library. I believe they are still doing, you can place holds online. Just go to aclibrary.gov and you can place holds. And I think there's a couple specific days. I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that you can go and you set in a time where you can pick up those items that you place on hold. I just miss going into the library. I miss. I said this already. I'm sure there's plenty of other people who miss going into the library. All that information there, all the books. It's just it's uh, it's something that I really miss. I miss the library. Um, yeah, 510-331-9112. Um, Send in your topic, question, comment, complaint, confession. Julie says they have a great plan, no games, just practicing and screening. That's cool because I know kids need to get outdoors and be active and do stuff like we all do. It's tough staying at home and staying away from people. Um, with that said, guys, thank you guys for all the comments. Thank you for listening to me babble again and listening to this show. We hope it's something that brings us all closer, our staff and you guys even closer. We're nothing without you guys. You guys are Castro Valley News. Whenever anything happens, you guys are so on top of sending stuff. The story about the domestic violence thing, I would have never heard about. You guys, mentioned that you saw the police out there and what was happening. So, like I said, without you guys, we would have not gotten that story. We would have not been able to inform you on that story. So, thank you guys for being awesome. Thank you guys for making Castro Valley News what it is. Because without you guys, just we would be nothing. With that said, thanks again for everyone tuning in. We do have a guest lined up for next week, and it's going to be someone you will want to hear from. In advance, I'll give you guys a FYI heads up to post some questions for this person, but it's someone that you'll want to hear from next week. We're doing this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and we appreciate your participation. We appreciate your support. We appreciate Castro Valley being awesome. And that's the last thing I'm going to say, except for the end tagline. When the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. Thank you, Castro Valley, for being awesome. Stay safe. Love yourself. Love each other. We'll see you next week.